Perhaps you've heard the term intermittent fasting, and you're wondering what exactly that is and how would something like that fit into someone's daily life. Is it something where you just starve yourself for a certain amount of time and feel miserable the whole time? Well, we are going to go ahead and dive into that today. Let's do it. Hey everyone, I'm Janessa and welcome back to my channel. I am owner and founder of Thriving Again Life Coaching for Women. I am a Christian life mentor and I'm also an entrepreneurial homeschooling mom of 5 kiddos. Yes, my plate is full and I love living a thriving life. I often tell those around me that part of that thriving life is intermittent fasting. Well, you may be wondering right now, what exactly is intermittent fasting? I'm sure you've heard bits and pieces out there. There are plenty of wonderful podcasts and videos available on YouTube and on other platforms describing in full what intermittent fasting is. I just want to go ahead and give you a very quick rundown today on what a intermittent fasting protocol looks like and can look like for you. Intermittent fasting is a very simplistic concept. It is just a time where you willingly forego the consumption of food. It purely means any time that you have willingly designated to not eating. We are either fasting or we are eating. And intermittent fasting is a time that you have willingly worked into your life, your daily habits that give your body a time of rest from either consumption of food or a processing of that food. Fasting in its original form has been around for thousands of years. It is not a fad diet. It is not merely a buzzword. Attention for intermittent fasting has been growing over the last decade and more because we have been able to study and see the dramatic results and the amazing benefits of fasting. But the fasting itself has been worked into the daily pattern of people for thousands of years. So it is not something that is a new concept. We just have been privileged to be able to really document and observe the benefits of fasting. When you're consuming food in your feeding state, in your feeding window, your blood sugar goes up, your insulin responds, your insulin rises, and your body is processing the energy load that it has received or is receiving in that moment. It is then, therefore, not able to have access to any of the other stores in your body, such as extra fat, extra calories that you're wanting to burn. When you are fasting, and if you fast up to a certain amount of time, it allows your insulin to do the normal rise after eating, but then it has enough time for it to lower again. And it gives your body that critical time of being able to finally access those stores in your body that we want to get to. That is just extra calories on the body. One of the best things about intermittent fasting is that there really is no right way or wrong way of doing it. It all depends upon you, your goals, the benefits that you hope to see out of fasting. It's completely personalized. If, for instance, you have a good amount of weight that you hope to lose, your window of time that you allot to fasting may look completely different than someone who merely wants to maintain their weight. Further, if you are in that gym and you have your fitness goals, you're going to want to know that you are tapping into the best fasting window perfectly, personalized to you that will allow your HGH levels to naturally rise, to allow, a good amount of hypertrophy to happen to give you that body composition that you're looking for. So no matter what your goals are, no matter if it's disease prevention or implementing a kind of regimen that will help your body to experience the anti-inflammatory benefits, whatever it is, there is an intermittent fasting option for you. And guess what? That's part of what you and I do together, right? When we meet together coaching one-on-one, we will look at your diet, your goals, your work schedule, your life stressors, and figure out what is going to make you successful for years to come, right? Let's go ahead and look at these different ways that intermittent fasting is commonly implemented into people's lives. Well, first of all, when you're first starting out with fasting, it's pretty common to start with something that's a little more doable, such as 1410. 1410 purely means that you will find yourself fasting for 14 hours, so you're abstaining from any sort of caloric intake whatsoever, and then you eat for the remaining 10 hours. So maybe something like that would mean that you're waking up, right, and you're having breakfast at 8 a.m., and then you're not going to eat anything past 6 p.m. Okay, so that would be one way of implementing a 1410. And then the next most common is 16:8. So you're going to be fasting for 16 hours and then having all of your calorie intake in the 8 hours following. So that this always includes your bedtime, time that you're sleeping, right? So a 16:8 may look like you are eating from 10 a.m., right, to 6 p.m. And that's pretty doable for a lot of people. Um, and then you also can have the 18:6, where we flip flop that, right? Where you want to go ahead and push it out, you can do an 18:6. Another common method is the OMAD, which also stands for one meal a day. And it's just as it is, right? That you will fast for 24 hours from dinner to dinner, or maybe for you, it'll be breakfast to breakfast or lunch to lunch. As I said before, it's completely personalized, right? That is another really, really popular way of implementing intermittent fasting. And another further still other options is the 5-2 diet, right? So this protocol will involve eating normally for 5 days out of your week, but then you restrict the caloric consumption to something much lower, like 500 to 700 calories for 2 non-consecutive days. And this specific protocol is actually really, really helpful for those who are in hard training, like in the gym or have fitness goals that they're trying to aspire to accomplish, because you can structure those fasting days to coincide with your resting days without affecting your training much at all. Um, Another really popular protocol with the fasting is to fast for 24-hour periods once or twice per week. And then after that, the other 5 days, you eat normally. So these are just a few examples of how you can implement intermittent fasting. You can also do the warrior diet, which is 24. So you fast for 20 hours, consecutive hours, and then you eat for 4 hours. And so this is particularly the fasting window that I like to implement within my day. I will vary by an hour or an hour and a half, but I typically will follow the 24. That's just what I do. Aside from these fasts, which take place, either every day or every week, you also find those who have great success with longer length of fast, for those who will fast 24, 36, 48 hours at a time every few weeks or so. You'll also find those who have great success, who will fast for 3 full days, drinking nothing but water. And those fasts you'll primarily will find will be once a month or once every few months, for a really full body reset, right? To really gain those benefits of cells turnover and anti-inflammatory benefits of that fast. So there really, once again, is not a right way or wrong way of implementing this. You'll find all sorts of variations. It's all just a matter of what's finding happy, healthy, normal for you. We will look at all aspects of your life, your goals, your desires, any concerns that you have will be addressed as we try to draw up the perfect fasting plan for you. So there we have it in a nutshell, what fasting is all about. It's just a time that is designated that you willingly give to not eating, right? It's not starvation. No one is making us or forcing us not to eat. Fasting is all about, we actually do have access to food. We have permission to eat that food, but we are willingly saying no to give our body a rest and a time to utilize the energy that we already have stored in our body. Our fat stores are nothing more than stored up energy that our body wants to use. But when we're constantly feeding ourselves and keeping that insulin levels high, it does not allow us to even access those fat stores, which is just energy, right? And when we are fasting, when we reach really particularly about the 16-hour mark and on, it really allows our body to start using all the fuel that we already have stored in the form of fat. That's really all that is. Let's use up that energy. Let's fuel our body on our own fat stores, right? Well, I encourage you, send me a note. Let's begin this journey together. I am so excited to see you reach your goals and to become successful in your own intermittent fasting transformation lifestyle. You can go ahead and send me a note here. Reach out on www.thriving-again.com and let's do this together.